Let's settle this right now. No, a eye can't look at you across the room and suddenly know you're thinking about pizza, or your ex, or why you still have 47 browser tabs open. But something almost as weird has already happened. A woman lay completely still inside a giant brain scanner. No talking, no moving, just watching a few short video clips. A little later, a computer looked at nothing but her brain activity and tried to recreate what she'd just seen. Not from a camera, not for her eyes, for her brain. Now before you start wrapping your head in aluminum foil, relax. Nobody's downloading your thoughts at the grocery store. The machine doing this costs more than most houses, takes hours to set up, and definitely isn't hiding inside your smartwatch. But here's the part that made me stop scrolling. The computer didn't recreate the video perfectly. It looked more like a dream your brain made after eating spicy tacos at midnight. Blurry, weird, almost melting into itself, but somehow you could still tell what the person had been watching, which raises a question that's way more interesting than can I read your mind. The real question is, how did it get that close in the first place? Let's clear up the biggest myth first. No, a psi can't hear your inner voice complaining that Monday arrived way too fast. It isn't reading your thoughts like subtitles in a movie. Think of your brain like a giant stadium. Every thought lights up a different section of the crowd. One area cheers when you recognize a face, another reacts to movement, another wakes up when you see a dog, and somewhere in there, there's probably a section that gets excited every time someone says, "free pizza." The scanner doesn't know what you're thinking. It only sees which parts of the stadium are lighting up. After watching thousands of examples, the AI starts noticing patterns. It begins saying, "I've seen this pattern before. Last time it was probably a face." It's less like reading your mind, and more like that one friend who always knows you're about to order the exact same thing at your favorite restaurant. It's making an educated guess. Sometimes it's incredibly good. Sometimes it's about as accurate as your phone predicting the next word when you're texting your mom. And that's an important difference, because guessing your thoughts isn't the same as understanding them. Now here's the part that genuinely deserves the hype. Forget movies for a second. This isn't about reading healthy people's minds. It's about giving people something they thought they'd lost forever. Their voice. Some people with paralysis know exactly what they want to say. Their brain sends the message. Their body just can't deliver it. It's like writing the perfect text and realizing your phone has been stuck on 1% battery for the last 3 hours. The words are there. They just never leave. That's where AI steps in. Instead of waiting for muscles to move, it listens to the brain signals trying to produce speech. Then it turns those signals into real words. Sometimes even using a voice that sounds like the person themselves. Imagine not being able to say, "I love you," for years, and suddenly hearing those words come out again, not because your body recovered, but because technology finally figured out another way to listen. Honestly, that's the kind of a thought I story we should probably talk about more often. Now here's where everyone's brain immediately jumps to. Great. Now they're reading my thoughts while I'm buying toilet paper. Relax. If that were possible, half the world's ads would already know you walked into the store for milk and somehow left with candles, chips, and a plant you absolutely didn't need. Today's brain reading a high doesn't work like that. It needs a giant scanner, a person willing to sit perfectly still, and enough equipment to make a hospital room look under-equipped. If you move too much, the scanner basically goes, "Could you not?" So no, nobody's secretly downloading your thoughts on the subway. But here's the weird part. Your brain reacts to things before you even realize it. A scary face, a loud noise, that smell of fresh pizza when you're trying to eat healthy. Your brain has already made the first move while you're still pretending, nah, I'm not hungry. Honestly, your brain sometimes acts like that friend who replies before you've even finished talking. Which means the scary part isn't that machines know everything. It's that your own brain occasionally beats you to the answer. Everyone keeps asking, can a thy eye read minds? Meanwhile, the better question is sitting quietly in the corner wondering why nobody invited it. If this technology keeps improving, who gets to use it? Imagine your phone saying, "We noticed you look stressed today. Thanks. I was trying really hard to keep that between me and my coffee." Or imagine an advertisement that doesn't wait for you to click, it waits for your brain to react. That's less marketing and more your thoughts getting unsolicited customer service. Now, don't panic. We're nowhere near that. Right now, this technology is expensive, slow, and about as portable as carrying a refrigerator to the beach. But technology has a funny habit. Yesterday, it filled an entire room. Today, it fits in your pocket. Tomorrow, who knows? That's why people aren't worried about what brain-reading AI can do today. They're watching where it might be 10 years from now. So, can a AI read your mind? Not exactly. If it could, it would have already figured out why we all open the fridge, stare into it for 10 seconds, close it, then immediately open it again like new food might have spawned. What a AI can actually do is much cooler. It can recognize patterns inside the brain, help people speak again, and give doctors entirely new ways to understand how our minds work. That's not science fiction anymore. That's science quietly getting on with its job while the internet argues with itself. So maybe the biggest surprise isn't that AI is getting smarter. It's realizing just how incredibly complicated our own brains have been all along. If you enjoyed this one, subscribe. I've got another AI myth coming that sounds completely ridiculous, until you discover it's 100% real. Until then, don't lose sleep over mind reading machines. Your browser history is still giving away more about you than your brain ever has. Take care, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.